um, No Mercy Recap, which I really liked. Kudos to WWE for paying homage to one of the greatest wrestling games of all time, WWF No Mercy.
Yes,
that intro was amazing.
Yeah, I was just going to say that may be the best intro for a WWE PLE event ever. Because that really brought me back. So I totally forgot about that opening, and then as soon as they showed it, I was just like, oh yeah, I remember the Nintendo 64 days.
To break it down to that degree and do it that way with the mods and stuff like that, and doing the characters. I'm like, that's
amazing.
Like, as soon as you see the intro, like the music, I'm like, that's
why WWE production is the best production in the wrestling business today.
That was like nostalgia at its best, and it's just like, I give you guys kudos to you guys, whoever was like, yo, we can't not include the game in this. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and again, just to do it that way and just like it just brought me back because I played a lot of hours on No Mercy. And I had the cartridge where it would erase your game. Like it would erase your career mode, like in No Mercy, like you would just plug it in one day and it just wouldn't be there, so you had to start all over again. So I've had many hours on NXT No Mercy, and to see that intro, diggity dog, all that stuff, like, brought me back. Just brought me back.
The fact that they with the lyrics of the song, I was like, oh shit, yeah.
that shit was nuts. But to open out, we had Baron Corbin defeating Braun Breaker.
Which I was very shocked about.
Mr. Stone apparently coming back and costing Braun Breaker the match out of nowhere. But just overall, it was a very hard-hitting match. Baron Corbin, who would have thought Baron Corbin's getting a win?
I didn't think that was happening at all. And I'm like, it actually did. It did good for him. I feel like it had it. Like he's still a powerhouse. He's still like can go. You know. So I feel like it definitely showed him in a new, like he's still a heel, but like, and it's funny because like Braun Breaker's a heel, so it's like they're both heels going at each other. Yeah, so it's like who can be the bigger douche, I guess.
All I'm thinking about is that Braun Breaker is going to eventually go to the main roster. That's all I'm thinking. Because it's like, why would you put
that to happen?
Like, why would you put them in a feud like that? Like, he's kind of already done the NXT type of thing. He's fighting Carmelo Hayes next week, as we see. It's just like I don't see anything else more for him to do there, and especially having a blow up like that. It's usually those type of matches that usually send somebody to the main roster. So
he's got to go win the tag titles.
Oh, no, not. Shawn Michaels, NXT Brass. If you're listening, just let him go to the main roster or something like that.
No, not yet.
There's nothing left for you to do with him down there.
Like there's nothing for him.
He's literally done everything. Yeah,
he's got to face Shawn Michaels before.
Student versus the teacher.
You fought my dad. You stopped his career.
Jesus. But yeah, Baron Corbin picking up that win. We got Trick Williams winning the North American NXT Championship against Dirty Dom, which I thought was an all right match. But Trick Williams getting that rub there, and I'm just gonna say this. That intro to that music gets me hyped. Everybody yelling "whoop that trick" in the crowd. I'm like, this shouldn't be it.
Especially when Booker T is ad-libbing on commentary to it as well.
Yeah.
I like it.
You're like, are you kidding me? I'm just gonna say this about Booker T, right? Like Booker T grew up in Texas and stuff like that. But whenever he does this stuff, like to show that he's like black, in a sense, like the Bad Bunny video when he's dancing, like he has no rhythm, like all this stuff is like, it's just funny. But Trick Williams picking up that win. Unfortunately, he lost on Tuesday. Right back to Dirty Dom, and I'm like, I thought we were building Trick Williams. I thought we were.
I will say this, and I think
that was supposed to be Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, it was. I will say this though, watching that match, you can definitely see that Trick Williams still needs
more
matches under his belt.
Yeah.
I really did not think he was gonna win that title at all. I was happy for him and whatever, but I'm like, he was kind of doing some of the same moves over and over again, and I'm like, you need to develop a moveset.
I mean, honestly, he's already got the hard part down. You already see he's charismatic as shit. So
he's
already got that down. So all he has to do is just improve in the ring, and then once he gets that down, he'll be everything.
He just has to get more reps and stuff like that. So hopefully he can be in that NXT North American type of battle.
Just rhythm in general, because I feel like I caught myself looking at him. I'm like, you just did this.
Yeah. It's repetitive.
You gotta pull. It's crazy to think, like, when we watch matches, we'll see people do kind of like the same moves, but it's just like, they're scattered out or whatever. They use them in certain spots and stuff. And, that's how they build up a match. And I felt for him, I was just like, I feel like he either caught himself some spots. He's like, all right, let me just do this again, or let me set this up again, and let me go from there. And it's just like, he's still going to figure that out a little bit.
He's still. It
just showed a little bit. So
still a little green there, but he picked up that win. It was monumental. Just again, his music, his entrance, all that stuff is just like, yo, that's awesome. Kind of like, I don't want to sound blasphemous. Little LA Knightish, just a little LA Knightish. I'm just saying.
Is that a bad thing? Is that
no? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in general. I'm just saying that. Just imagine that music in a big arena. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Whoa.
That's all. Yeah, like that's crazy. Like Hustle and the Flow came out in like 2005. Like that's the thing that's crazy to me about it. It's like they just used that, so it's like I'm surprised that's not copyrighted or something. It's 3-6 Mafia. WWE. But,
and a lot of this generation won't know what that means at all.
Whoop that,
that's the whole thing.
What is
this trick? I mean, you got little white. You got little white kids in the crowd chanting "whoop that trick." And you asked them straight up. You know what you're saying?
Kid in the crowd, you know what you're saying? Like glasses, like this little. He looked like a nerdy kid saying "whoop that trick." I'm just laughing. Like,
Could you imagine that going off in like Atlanta? That would be hilarious.
Oh, no.
Huntsville.
He just couldn't lose the title shot there.
Where did that movie Hustle and Flow take place? Was it in Atlanta?
I think it was.
It wasn't Atlanta.
It wasn't Atlanta. Yeah. So if they ever go to Georgia,
I'm just saying that song is gold. That song is gold.
Yeah.
We had the family, Tony D'Angelo and Stax defeating the Creed brothers. Angel Garza and Herberto Correa in versus Out the Mud. That was a good match. I want the Creed brothers to win the tag titles because I'm just like, I feel like I like their tag team. I like the whole wrestling aspect. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Alpha Academy and all that. So definitely wanted them to win, but the family pulls it out there.
I will say one thing about that match. What is Reggie's group looking like? GTA 5.
I think everybody.
Is that their thing?
I think everybody. That's what they're going for.
No,
you got the bikes, they got the wording, the logo.
Exactly, the entrance graphics and everything. Yeah.
I'm like, is this
Rockstar? It's like Rockstar's coming in with a lawsuit real fast.
Yo. Hey, we didn't sign off on this.
Is that our font? Excuse me. In a very impressive match, which I don't really care for the Heritage Cup like that, but Noam Dar and Butch.
That was a great match, though.
Like, that whole setup of the rounds, I feel like that was the first time where I was like, okay, this is something different. I think, didn't Impact do something like that? They had rounds.
I forget the name of the. They had rounds and they had judges. I forget the name of the title.
This is kind of the same kind of format of that. A little bit of twist because you need the pinfall and stuff like that. But just looking at that.
Sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, just looking at that match and with the rounds and the impact of that, and seeing the fatigue on all these guys, Noam Dar is really creating a spot for himself in NXT, where I thought this was just, what is this crap? I know it was from NXT UK, But to bring it over here and actually do it like that is just like, wow, that was an impressive match. A little overbooking at the end, but I really liked it.
I was just about to say that. That's the only thing I didn't like is the fact that it literally took 7 people to fucking beat it. It was was just too much.
So I just need to understand. It's basically the first person who gets to 2 pins. That's how you win, right? Or is it 3?
Yeah, no. So I think it's 6 rounds. Yeah, it's 6 rounds. And you got to get 2, you got to get two pinfalls to win. Yeah.
Okay. See, I thought it was like you keep going more rounds until somebody gets that second pinfall. I wasn't sure if it was just like.
Yeah, and I think after round 6, if it's a draw and it's 1-1, then the champion retains.
Mm-hmm. That's
okay.
So here are the rules. Okay. Match consists of 6 3-minute rounds with 20-second breaks in between. Matches are 2 out of 3 falls. Falls can be won by pinfall, submission, or countout. Once a fall occurs, the round ends. The match ends when one wrestler has 1-2 falls. So that's pretty much it.
Got it.
So, but yeah, that was a very impressive match, and it's just like that's where I really saw the format because I saw it with Dragon Lee, and it was kind of fast paced, and it was like, all right, this is over before it even got started. But Butch and Noam Dar, they really put a lot of intensity into that match, and I was just like, okay, now this has something. And Noam Dar to continue winning like this, I'm like, that's building his name up. So we'll see what happens with him. In a banger, Ilja Dragonov finally gets the NXT Championship against Carmelo Hayes. What do you guys think about that match and how crazy of a match that was?
Ilja Dragunov, like I said on last week's show, he's such a good of a character that I honestly think that it's really that's not a character, that's really him, because that's how good he is. But in ring wise, I mean, like we mention all the time, we always talk about the matches he had with Gunther, which some are saying that those are 2 of the top matches of the last decade. And the story going into this match with Carmelo Hayes was pretty much the whole idea of you only beat me because Trick Williams was involved, and you can't beat me straight. You can't beat me straight up, and that was such a good story because the match kind of emulated that because it was a lot of close falls. You know, when Melo went for his finish, it was the first time he actually missed. Based upon his catchphrase. You had Dragunov with the little forearm he does from the top rope. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, when he went up to the top rope the first time and he hit it, I thought that was gonna be that was the match. that was one of the times where they got me because I actually thought the match was over.
That move is brutal.
I don't know.
The match was over after he did it from the top.
He hits him right here. But it's like I don't know how you take that like not getting jacked. I don't know.
Basically.
Unless while he's coming down, he pulls up a little bit so it looks like
maybe.
I don't see.
It looks like he's kind of digging in with that elbow.
Yeah. It looks like he's really laying it in there. So for him to sell that like that is just like shit. But yeah, as you said, all the near falls, and especially what you said, apparently that is true. Without Trick Williams, we didn't win. You know what I mean? So we're continuing that aspect of it, and it's just like definitely well deserved. Long time coming for him, especially coming over from the UK to build himself up like that, to build a name like that in the US and stuff like that, to get over like that. It adds kudos to what he's doing and that it's working. That is really working.
Yeah, his character work is great. His style is hard hitting, fast, crazy. As much as I don't usually like stuff with like the context, but like the red eye shit like really works for him, and like the lighting, his intro and everything. Definitely, like you guys said, well deserved, and it was a hard hitting match. Definitely hope that I don't know. I felt like they were kind of teasing him and Trick we're gonna probably go at it, but then Trick already losing the title. I don't know what's going on with that, but I also didn't watch yesterday's NXT. So
that feud is happening in a couple of weeks.
It should definitely be for a title.
They've been teasing it for almost a month and a half or so. That eventually Trick and Melo are gonna come to blows. little bits and pieces.
I think I saw that. Yeah, I saw that happening.
Especially now after what happened on NXT with him losing the title, and Trick initially told Melo that I don't need you for this one, but you just
did
lost.
He come out?
No, he didn't come out at all. Yeah, because Trick told him I got this. I'll handle this on my own. Then obviously with Dom, here comes Judgment Day. So Trick another 5-on-1. So yeah.
Yeah, and I was just mad at that. I'm like, he's really just gonna lose after just winning it. He just won it. He just won it.
And they don't normally do that in NXT as well.
Yeah, they don't. So it's like, come on, guys. I know they're trying to build up ratings and stuff like that, but it's like Trick Williams has everybody like chanting his song and shit. So I mean,
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that was a great match. And then another, apparently Becky Lynch, all she needed for her career was just hardcore matches. Match stipulations. I'm just saying.
I knew as soon as we covered this match, I was just going to ask you, Daniel, you probably thought this match sucked, huh?
No, I'm just saying it was pretty damn good. It was
a hell of a match. That was a hell of a match. And you know what? I will say this. I do have a new found respect for Tiffany Stratton. I
do too.
Her coming in beforehand, maybe I didn't see too much of her match work, I think her character, I just wasn't feeling it. But I feel like Becky definitely elevated her in the sense, like, she has the athleticism. I guess she's a former gymnast. Like, her perfect moonsault is beautiful, like the way she sets it up and everything, but she took some hits. She took some really good hits and really good spots.
Toughness.
And maybe this was the point of Becky winning the title all along.
To pull out another side of Tiffany Stratton, because Daniel, I think
maybe elevate some.
I think you shared
developmental characters
today of comparing like the NXT.
I was just looking at that.
And to new horsewomen. Now, if you had shared that photo like a month or two ago with Tiffany Stratton on it, I would have said Tiffany Stratton doesn't even belong in this photo. It shows no comparison. Now after this match, I think not only does she belong,
I think we all can see it.
She's the person that belongs out of anybody. I think what was it? Her, Roxanne, Lyra, and Cora Jade, right?
Yeah. So they
right now, out of those four, Tiffany Stratton is number one. That's good.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because, they had Roxanne Perez as Bailey. They had Cora Jade as Sasha Banks. They had Tiffany Stratton as Charlotte, and had Lara Valkyrie as Becky Lynch. And it's like I can see those parallels.
and apparently now people are souring on Roxanne now. So
really,
she actually was getting booed. She actually was getting booed during NXT. During the segment where she came out to set up the triple threat. During the actual triple threat match, people are starting to sour on her now. I don't know why.
I think it's because it's just the baby face thing.
Yeah,
she's young and she's prickly, and we see the feistiness and stuff like that. It's like they're probably looking at her to turn heel at some point. Like, and it's just like I don't think they need to do that, but it's like I feel like that's the direction that they're going to go, because it's like, especially with Becky Lynch and stuff like that being the old guard, I could see them being like, Roxanne Perez is now going to be a heel and turn it up against that. But it's like, I don't know. I got to figure out the heels. And
so is the triple threat? The triple threats between what, her and who else?
So the triple threat was between it was between Roxanne, Indy Hartwell, and Lyra Valkyria. Lyra Valkyria got the pin on Indy Hartwell. So Lyra Valkyria is facing Becky Lynch at Halloween NXT Halloween
Havoc. Okay.
Yep. I feel like they kind of overbooked Roxanne Perez a little bit in where she was winning all the time. She was on TV all the time. They did that weird angle with her when she had basically the Shawn Michaels injury.
I don't know why they had her drop the title.
And then come back, and then I don't.
Essentially, I don't know what they were.
Essentially, doing. It was the Shawn Michaels. Essentially, to me, it was the Shawn Michaels booking when he got hurt, and then he had to give up the title, and then he came back. He turned heel after that, so I feel like that's the angle they're going with Roxanne Perez at some point. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But Becky Lynch, again, with another banger, getting the stitches in her elbow. After the trash, she got spine busted onto the trash can, and her arm was literally gushing blood. They wrapped it, and she kept going. So kudos to her and the work that she's doing. Tiffany Stratton with the handspring backflip into the
barricade. Yeah, that was nice.
I was like, that's dope. But she definitely showed that this was definitely a hard hitting match. Showed some toughness. And kudos to those ladies. Definitely impressive match. We can get into our picks for. Hold on. We can get